Sub Cinematic Composers. Okay, so this is the fourth video of the series. The first one was about crafting the perfect cold email that gets responses. The second was also very important, which is about crafting that subject line that gets it clicked and opens your email. And the third, in my opinion, is the most important of them all, which is the follow-up strategy. This is harder than it seems, but we discovered a few strategies here that are very important. You usually get your response or your project or your opportunity not in the first email, rarely in the first email, but in the first or second follow-up. Today, we're going to be talking about personalizing your approach for different industry contacts. So we're going to be diving into something that can dramatically increase your response rate. See, each video is important for different reasons, but in this case, what's going to help is the fact that we're going to be personalizing your emails for different types of industry contacts. Now, why do we need to do that? Here's the thing. A director, a producer, a music supervisor, they are looking for completely different things from you. I learned this the hard way early in my career, sending the same generic email to everyone and wondering why I wasn't getting responses. But once I started tailoring my approach to each specific role, my response rate tripled overnight. And it's not an exaggeration. I know the numbers, right? And I don't want to make this depressing, but generally the response rate will go anywhere from 1 to 10%. So of all the emails you will send, 1 to 10% are going to get responded. And as you start sending emails, those numbers will stay consistent. This thing tripled my response rate, not my open rate, my response rate. So this is very important, and today I'm going to be sharing exactly how to customize your approach for maximum impact with every type of industry contact. Let's do this. By the way, this content is part of a course that we are just launching right now. It's called Get Paid Composing Gigs. It has two parts, the how to find the projects and then how to get the projects. This video is part of that second part, to communication, emails, and things like this. More info, link in description. Let's continue. We'll talk about directors first, then producers, and finally music supervisors. I love this concept. Depending on who you're talking to, you're going to speak differently, the same way that if you've got kids, you speak differently to one kid than the other because they're different, right? Directors, producers, music supervisors, they're different people with different interests, with something different that they need from you and something different that they need in general. And because we are here to serve, we're here to provide value, we don't talk to all of them the same way. So directors are primarily concerned with their creative vision. So you want to connect their music to their storytelling approach. So when I email a director, I never talk about technical music terms. I talk about emotion, character arcs, and narrative tension. That's the language that gets their attention. So research their previous work's emotional themes, reference specific scenes or moments that moved you. So an example, completely made up, okay, maybe a little bit too long, but dreamlike transitions created a unique emotional rhythm. I've created a brief musical piece inspired in your visual language, particularly inspired the way that you use the light to reveal character emotions. I'd love to discuss how this approach might complement the ethereal quality of red you're bringing to the new movie that you're working on. So a completely made out example, but when emailing directors, focus on storytelling, emotional impact, and how your music enhances their unique visual style. All right, so recap, focus on storytelling, connect your music to their storytelling approach, and two, demonstrate vision alignment. Show how your music enhances their vision and create custom examples based on their visual aesthetic. All right, and that's how you talk to a director. A director is an artist. A producer, on the other hand, is a business person, and the producer will care more about problems being solved efficiently. So here you want to highlight professionalism, right? You want to emphasize your reliability, efficiency, and problem-solving abilities. This is so much fun. A producer will ask you, can you deliver on time, on budget, without drama? That's their primary concern. The concern number one. Creative brilliance is secondary to reliability for them. A director is more like, can you help me tell the story that I'm trying to tell with music, sort of thing. It's more about the art and the creativity side of things. And producer is more about, can I trust you? that we're gonna get this done. So when speaking with a producer, mention quick turnaround capabilities, budget consciousness, technical flexibility, previous successful collaborations. Number two, address their business concerns. We're here to help, we're here to serve, right? So how are we gonna do this? Show understanding of the production challenges. Position yourself as the solution, not just another problem for them. Here's an example, but before I read it, this, if you nail this, is what will get you the project the fastest. This is one of the most efficient and effective ways to get the gig. If you can make them trust, if you can make them believe that you will solve their problems, you get the project. I got one of these recently like last year. Robert and I have worked on more than 10 movies. He's producing over a dozen movies every year. So he doesn't have me in every show, in every movie. So he was working in this movie. They had another composer. They had a problem with the composer. And he called me. It's like, hey, Mark, this is the situation. He explained to me the situation. And he was like, we've got 2 weeks. It's 60 minutes of music. We need this, and that. It's like, don't worry. I'll get it done. No problem. No problem. Again, him and I, we've done over 10 movies. I've never failed him. Always delivered, usually 1 week ahead of time. In this case, with 2 weeks, I wasn't able to deliver 2 weeks ahead of time. But if I say, don't worry, Robert, trust me, no problem, he was like, okay, let's go. Give me everything that I need to know, and then forget about this problem. I am your solution. Hang up the phone, pick up again, I assemble my team, couple more composers in the team, and we get it done. The problem is not about getting it done. You figure it out, right? You just figure it out. And then that person calls you again the next one because he's a producer. He needs to deliver to the executive producers, and you are just one more piece, one more tool for them to be able to create that product, to create that story. They'll call a director, they call a composer, call, the post-production team, the actors, actresses, and they will create a story, right? That's their job. You're there to help them. If you are that person at that moment, I assure you, you're gonna get the project. Let's read the example. So this is an example. This email would not ensure that you would get the project. It is just an example, just so you see the language that you use with a producer. This would be even more effective if you could have a common connection, call this person and talk about you in regards of this statement here. When I was preparing this class, I thought this would be a fun joke. But if you can have someone call the producers like, hey, yes, I did work with Mark. We recently worked in this movie, had 3 weeks, the guy delivered. Then the producer's gonna be like, send me contacts of this guy, let's work together. So for producers, again, reliability, efficiency, and problem solving, basically. Hopefully you learn to, or you enjoy to work with both. I absolutely love the artistic side of things and speaking with directors, but I absolutely love to work with people that gets things done and that are problem solvers and entrepreneurs and people who create things. When you have the ability or when you have the opportunity to be led by someone who gets things done and you understand that you are one part of that bigger thing and we all together make this happen, that's pretty awesome. Okay, music supervisors. So legal stuff. So with music supervisors, you want to be explicit about ownership and licensing of your music. Music supervisors, they won't even use music or they won't even listen to tracks if they don't know upfront about the rights situation. They've just been burned too many times by complicated licensing issues. So with music supervisor, you just have to show that you know the game, okay? So like who owns the masters, who owns publishing, any co-writer situation, licensing availability. So you don't have to be a lawyer here, but again, you have to show them that you know the game. And then on the more artistic but still technical side of things, for example, if the music supervisor is like, hey, send us some music because we are temping here and we want to temp with some of your music, they'll show a range within the project specific needs, right? And then when submitting that music, provide organized, properly labeled examples. And here's an example. So 100% clear tension cues for name of the movie or name of the series. Hi, Jennifer. I've created a collection of tension cues for this project, all 100% owned and clear for immediate licensing. The playlist includes 3 investigation underscore pieces, 2 chase sequences, 2 emotional revelation themes. Here are all tracks. Link. I own both master and publishing. No PRO or co-writer complications. Would this be useful? Would this be enough? Do you need more? Best, Mark. So again, when emailing music supervisors, be explicitly clear about rights and licensing while also showcasing that versatility with their project-specific genre needs. Okay, so quick recap. We've talked about directors, producers, and finally music supervisor. Now we're gonna talk about research, their communication style, meaning no matter who you're talking to, match their preferred communication approach. So how are we going to do this? Well, first, study their public communication. Where? Well, hey, interviews, social media, and any previous work. The goal is to kind of get to know how they talk, how they write, kind of their style. For example, if you were to communicate with me, use like, well, the guy uses very simple language and speaks casual. The guy likes to talk a lot, so he likes detail, right? So these kind of things. And again, you may be thinking, it's like, well, this is a lot of work. You want it or not? And it's fun. It's fun. At the end of the day, you're creating a relationship here. And relationship starts with you giving first and adding value. And you add value by entering their world, giving them something of value, eliminating friction, understanding what they want, what they need, how they communicate. Before I email anyone in Hollywood or in the industry or in general, I try to first watch interviews on YouTube or wherever I can find. And for example, if they are like fast talking and energetic, then my email will be punchy and direct. If they are thoughtful and detailed, then my approach matches that as well. So look for language patterns, level of formality, see if they focus more on the technical or the emotional, see if they are more serious or use more humor. And then I also suggest that you match length and detail level, what I was mentioning earlier. Some contacts prefer brevity, others want details. So adjust based on their apparent preferences. And I say apparent because it's not always clear, but here's an example for brief communicators. For example, you can go straight to the point with something like, hey, quick question about name of the movie score. I've created a 30-second theme or cue that captures the isolation that you've described, available to discuss if resonates. Now, for more detailed communicators, it could be something like, hey, I've been studying the thematic development across your trilogy, particularly how you've used recurring motifs to highlight character evolution while maintaining the distinct tonal quality that defines your work. And this inspired me to create a piece that follows similar principles while introducing a new textural element that might complement the visual approach that you've described for name of the movie. Here's a link. I would say it's generally 60-40 or 70-30. Most of the times, brief is best. But get to know them because sometimes they value detail. All right, so let's recap how to personalize your approach for different industry contacts. For directors, focus on storytelling and emotional impact. For producers, emphasize reliability and efficient solutions. For music supervisors, be clear about rights and showcase versatility. And for everyone, research and match their communication style. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach in Hollywood. The more that you can tailor your communication to each specific role and individual, the higher the response rate will be. This personalization shows that you understand the industry and respect your specific needs and concerns. All right, that's all. If you want more, check out link in description. Bye.